Ansuz, the fourth rune of the Elder Futhark, a symbol of breath, speech, and inspiration, the living current that moves between gods and humans. Its name connects to Hos, god or mouth, and in the Norse world it was above all linked with Odin himself. If Turisaz is the gate of force, Ansuz is what flows through the gate as word, wisdom, and spirit. Ansuz was not about wealth or raw power, it was about communication, the ability to name, to call, to inspire. For early Germanic peoples, words were not casual. A spoken oath bound a person. A name invoked presence. A chant shaped events. Odin, who hung on the tree to seize the runes, was also the god of poetry and speech. Through him, the runes became not only marks in wood or stone, but living breath. Ansuz marks that breath. The invisible thread that carries thought into sound, and sound into the world. Ansuz is the rune of communication, a breath of inspired speech, but its power goes deeper than words. Modern psychology tells us that language doesn't just express thought, it shapes it. The words we use frame our reality. If you call a challenge a burden, your nervous system treats it as heavy. If you call it a test, your mind becomes alert and ready. Words change perception, and perception changes action. This is why therapists pay such close attention to how people tell their stories. A shift from I am broken to I am healing isn't just semantics, it's a rewiring of identity. Ansuz encodes this insight. It is the breath that transforms inner chaos into shared meaning. There is also the psychology of listening. Communication isn't only about speaking, it's about receiving. Neuroscience shows that deep, attentive listening regulates emotion, both in the speaker and the listener. Our ancestors understood this. To sit around a fire and listen to stories was not entertainment alone, it was cultural therapy, taught values, passed wisdom, and bound the group together. Ansuz is that process, crystallized into a symbol. Into another level, Ansuz is about intuition, the flashes of understanding that arrive not through analysis but through inspiration. In psychology, this is often linked to the unconscious mind, the vast reservoir of stored knowledge and pattern recognition that surfaces suddenly, in dreams, images, or sudden insight. Ansuz is the rune of that moment, where a truth surfaces unbidden, carried on the breath. And finally, there is the breath itself. Modern trauma therapy emphasizes grounding through breath work. Slow, conscious breathing calms the nervous system, restores clarity, and creates space for new meaning to emerge. The ancients may not have spoken in clinical terms, but they encoded the same wisdom. Life begins with breath, and speech carries it forward. Ansuz is that breath made sacred. How do we embody Ansuz now? Number 1. Conscious speech. Notice the effects of your words. Do they build, clarify, protect, or do they scatter? Number 2. Deep listening. Ansuz isn't only speaking, it's the breath you take in. Practice listening fully before responding. Number 3. Daily invocation. Begin your day with a deliberate phrase or prayer. Set tone and intent through speech. Number 4. Language as craft. Read aloud, write, or memorize a verse. Feel the vibration of words. Let speech become an embodied skill, not a reflex. Historically, Ansuz was carved onto amulets, staves, and ritual objects to evoke divine guidance, eloquence, and insight. It was the rune of sacred communication, a bridge between humans and the gods, particularly Odin. In some sources, Ansuz appears in charms for prophecy, for clarity of thought, or for ensuring fruitful speech in oaths. Poets and skalds might mark their writing tools or manuscripts with Ansuz to call inspiration and maintain accuracy in storytelling. Ansuz's magic was subtle rather than forceful. It did not command events, but align human action with divine or cosmic order. Its power came from recognition and invocation. By carving, speaking, or meditating on the rune, one could attune to inspiration, guidance, or foresight already present in the world. Ansuz is the rune of the living word, of Odin's breath moving through the world. It teaches us that language is not decoration, it is power. It is how cultures remember, how people unite, how spirit moves. Handled with care, Ansuz refines thought into speech, and speech into action.